think, act, and prosper. You are now tuned into the Money Level Show.
Yeah. Nice. So I assume like you like to go to theme parks or something, like, cause I don't know how you stomach those high volatility, but man, like I think the one in what was it, June to August? Yeah, that was the one. I wanted to contact you, like, what is going on? So like that volatility was just like I don't know how much percentage of a drop it was, but I saw it. I did have some conviction and I bought some more, and then shortly after we did see a huge rise, and so yeah, it's definitely one of those trades where you have to be able to stomach the volatility. So people have to assess how much risk they're willing to take and all of that. And obviously, if you educate yourself, good enough, well enough to where you understand that this is something that this is a bull market that we're in right now, then you have more conviction and not really worry about the downturns as much.
For sure. Yeah. That was that correction was difficult for a lot of people. I mean, it wasn't easy for us either, because it's, obviously we're beholden to our newsletter members to some extent. But the bottom of that correction was July 19th, I believe. And then the second bottom, which was a higher low, was August 19th, like 30 days perfectly. But about a week before the bottom in July, we had sent out a bulletin to our newsletter members called Uranium Gut Check. And basically, we just described what we were seeing in the markets, which was low volume selling. The spot price was moving down a little bit, but the volumes were low. The equities were moving down, but the volumes were low. And so to us, that was, when we see big volume coming in, pushing things up, and declining volume when it's coming down, that basically, I mean, to put it really simply, that's quote unquote smart money or institutional money that's coming in, moving things up, and retail selling it down. And a lot of times what happens is once you get to that cyclical top, you'll see 1 or 2 days of big volume selling. And in my opinion, that's also this institutional money just kind of like setting the trap, or seeding the sell-off by starting it, so that they'll buy down here on really high volume, established positions. Institutions and retail together will take it up, and at the peak of that cyclical move, institutions will hit it with another 1 or 2 days of big volume selling, freak retail out, and then they'll just sit back and watch retail do their thing for the next month or two, or even sometimes a few weeks. Then finally, when sentiment is despondent, they'll come back in and rinse and repeat. So we essentially said that a week before the bottom in July. And luckily for us and for a lot of our members, they heeded that advice and added to positions at that bottom. And, stocks since the July bottom have more than doubled, most of them anyways. So it can be a difficult thing. But understanding the reasons why, like understanding market psychology and these intra-cycle mini cycles. So we have this long-term bull market that will generally trend up, and understanding what's causing the fluctuations during that is really, really helps. And that's obviously something we like to communicate.
Yeah. So did y'all have like a Michael Burry experience? I mean, like The Big Short. I mean, like he's like holding on to this contrarian trade, and just and a lot of people were upset, but I don't know if it was to that degree, but I'm sure you had a few people in there that kind of
Yeah, there most folks. There were a few that came to the uranium sector, and some that came to our newsletter, like in May or in June, and we're up really big. And then by the time we hit the bottoms in July, they were down, 10, 20% if they had just entered that trade. And they were kind of freaking out. And it was also difficult because everybody knew that Sprott was coming. We didn't know to what extent their purchasing would have on the markets and what kind of volumes it would be talking about. Nobody knew that. I don't even think Sprott knew that, but we knew that they were coming. And so to see, the summer doldrums and the stock selling off and sentiment so low, just weeks away from Sprott's ATM going live was very difficult for a lot of investors. And well, investors is kind of a strong word. If you're coming in a couple of months believing in something and then freaking out, it's more like a speculation. But yeah, we definitely had there's someone that I think about every day almost, who communicated with us that it was that slide down in June through mid-August was the most difficult thing they'd ever experienced in their entire life. And they ended up selling kind of near the lows and lost a lot of money. And they didn't really listen to our recommendations or our take on the market, which is okay. Everybody's got to do what's best for themselves. But man, I think about that guy every single day, because he would be up more than he lost currently right now if he had just held on. And it's hard. I mean, I get it. It's a psychological battle, and it's simple, but it's not easy.